What's up, you guys? It's Layla Lynn, and I'm back with a new video. This video has a different format. Normally, I do newsy type videos, but I wanted to talk about my opinion on this couple right here. Every time I watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I feel like I need to do an analysis of the couples, whether it's Angela Oakley and Charles Oakley, K. Michelle and her man Caston, or Pinky Cole and her husband Derek. So today I said I would do Pinky Cole and her husband Derek because on the last episode, when he said he humbled her, I was like, he is literally saying the quiet part out loud. He is saying it out loud. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We're going to get into his energy of humbling Pinky and her energy of being open to being humble because I believe this is what she wanted. And I think he wanted to humble her so he could be seen as masculine, dominant. I domesticated this wild woman. So let's get into that. But first, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Click the bell, click the thumbs up button, hype me up. Do at least 2 of the YouTube things to support this channel. And let's start with what he said. We're just going to jump into what he said. On episode 2, season 17, he said he humbled Pinky Cole. The Pinky Cole, the multi-millionaire entrepreneur, owner of several million-dollar businesses. He humbled her. And I just want to start off by saying that I believe when he said that, it was not for the woman audience that watches the show. It was not for the women. He was speaking to the men. He's speaking to the male audience. And I feel like just from what people say about him online, I'm sure they probably say it in person too. I feel like his masculinity, it may be a little bit fragile to where he feels like he has to prove himself and prove his masculinity. And when he was saying, I humbled you, and he was saying, you don't just tell me what to do. I'm the one person that stands up to you. All of that, I believe, was for the male audience. It wasn't even for Pinky, if you ask me. It was for the male audience. It was for the people watching, because he's trying to prove his masculinity. He's verbalizing it. That's number one. And number two, he has physically humbled her. If you ask me, he's physically grounded her with children. Last week he mentioned, I believe it was at that dinner in front of the other men. I believe that's when he mentioned that he gave her 3 children in 3 years, 3 pregnancies in 3 years. And he didn't say that for no reason. He was bragging. He was bragging about having 3 children in 3 years as part of his attempt, in my opinion, to appear more masculine. And in real life, it did humble her. It did bring her down to earth. And I don't think it's a coincidence that she had 3 kids in 3 years and then found herself filing bankruptcy. She had been so successful in her businesses. But sometimes when you present yourself as superwoman, like when you present yourself to a man like you can do it all, you can handle it all, you can balance it all, you can juggle it all, they'll give it all to you. And 3 kids in 3 years is giving it all to you. And I feel like that's what she presented to him. She presented herself as superwoman to a man that wanted to prove himself as Superman. And so he did ground her with those 3 kids. I truly believe the kids were part of him humbling her, as he put it. Now, she asked him when they were having this conversation, of course it was edited, but she didn't seem to be offended. And that's why I say I feel like she's open to this man humbling her. Like part of her wants a man to humble her and bring her down to earth and make her a wife, make her a mother, despite all of her success. In this country, it's like if you are a woman, if you are not a wife and a mother, you get judged. You get judged. So I think part of her wanted this. But she asked him, she said, well, how does it feel being with a dominant woman? And he said he enjoyed being with a dominant woman because it made him a better man. And so this is what I feel like a lot of people miss. A lot of younger people really miss when it comes to dating. But you have to be careful with people who are dating for sport. Like you have to be careful with people who are dating a certain person because they feel like that person is going to make them better. And so you'll see people in relationships, or you might be in a relationship yourself where you're looking at your man and you're like, why does he treat me this way? But then still stay. Like, why does he talk to me crazy? He might even be cheating. And you're like, why does he do all this and all that, but then still stay? And it may be because he feels like you are good for him. Like, he might not be good for you. He might be tearing you down, but it's like you are good for him. He might feel like you make him a better man. Like, you have the good ideas on, let's do this and let's do that. Let's pursue this and let's, try to accomplish that. You may be making him a better man, but it's pulling from you. It didn't go over my head when she was talking about how she was going through all she was going through with her businesses, like the bankruptcies and things like that. When she was talking about that, she said she felt alone. And then he looked her dead in her eyes and said, "No, you didn't feel alone." But she said she felt alone. She didn't say she was alone. She said she felt alone. And the reason for that is because when she was at her lowest, her businesses were struggling, his businesses were at their highest. I don't know if y'all caught that, because the way they edited it was like two separate parts. But he did mention that he was flying. His businesses were flying. And I think they're still doing well. But he mentioned his businesses were at their best. And then she said hers were at the worst. And so it sounds like that's the reason she felt alone, because he wasn't meeting her where she was at because he was flying. And so it just reminds me of how there's this image, I'll find this on my Instagram, of flamingos. Flamingos are pink, but when they have children, the color leaves them. And a lot of times as women, our color leaves us. Like when we're having children, we have a husband, when it's so many people basically feeding off us, like feeding off our bodies, literally sucking on our bodies, sucking the life out of us. And they're doing great. They are doing great. And it seems like he was doing great. He is doing great. And it was a point in time when she was not doing well and he couldn't see eye to eye with her. And she felt alone. I understood exactly what she meant. But in my opinion, when I look at Pinky Cole, I feel like she is open to a man humbling her. Like she even said, when he said something about, I'll give you another kid, she was like, yeah, give it to me. Something like that. She said, like, she was open to it. And it seems like she tries to be superwoman. Like, she presents herself to her man as superwoman. I can do this. I can do that. I can make the bacon. I can fry it in the pan. And when you present yourself to people like that, that you can do it all, they will give you it all. They will test you. They will give you it all. And that's why I feel like she's open to it. And on his end, I feel like he is trying to prove his masculinity through her. Like, he's using her, having all these kids, 3 kids in 3 years, telling the audience that he humbled her. All of that, in my opinion, is to prove his masculinity. And maybe he feels that's what other men require of him. In any case, I feel like this is a situation where they're using each other. He definitely is humbling her. Same thing with Charles Oakley and Angela Oakley. She got him on the show, but he gonna embarrass her. It's like the power dynamic has to be where the man is dominant, with a lot of men, not all men. But y'all, leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think about their relationship. Do you think he is trying to prove his masculinity through her? What are your thoughts? Leave your comments, share your thoughts. And if you like this type of commentary, leave a comment and let me know. As always, thanks for watching.
Slow it.